Well, welcome back, everyone. Will they ever be able to go home again? Will they want to? More than a quarter of the people who were evacuated from the area around Japan's Fukushima nuclear power plant now say they do not wish to return. Only 5% say they will go back when radiation levels are what the government deems safe. Well, the disaster in March left more than 28,000 homes empty. People were forced to leave as the reactor spewed radiation into the atmosphere. But many people have returned. In the 20-kilometer circle around Fukushima, people are struggling to recreate their lives. Many are failing. Suicides have skyrocketed. Well, on the edge of this zone of despair, a Buddhist monk is trying to help. And this is the story of soothing the soul, when lives and generations are tied to the land that man has now tainted, possibly forever.
It's been raining here for days. A typhoon's approaching. It's a frightening prospect for Bansho Miura and his fellow monks. Every drop of water contains radioactive cesium. He checks the wind direction, wind speed, and atmospheric pressure. The data he receives is vitally important, here, 20 kilometers away from the damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant.
The risk of contamination is much higher if the weather's bad. If we get wet, our skin soaks up the gamma rays. That's why we have to protect ourselves from any rainwater.
HCR stands for Heart Care Rescue. Bansho Miura has made the brave decision to remain in the evacuation zone. He cares for those who chose not to leave this dangerous area, the elderly and those living alone. People like Masaharu Haneda. Hardly anyone lives closer to the disaster site, where the radiation is dangerously high at 20, 30 or 40 microsieverts per hour. Haneda should have gone, but explains why he stayed.
Why do I stay here? Our family has lived here for 1,000 years. I can't run away. I have to stay here until I die. It's depressing. People here are very spiritual. Their souls are closely connected to the area. They had to leave quickly, but they didn't want to. It's a real dilemma.
The produce from the gardens here is hazardous waste. Monk Miura wants it tested in the lab, along with the spring water from the mountains that Masaharu Haneda drinks every day. Officials say it's harmless, but Haneda doesn't believe their reassurances. After all, he experienced the March the 11th disaster firsthand, as a TEPCO worker inside the nuclear power plant.
That was no ordinary explosion in Block 3 of Fukushima. There was a chain reaction involving uranium and plutonium, and it all blew out into the air. But no one's measuring, nobody wants to. I think TEPCO's lying, and even our own government is hiding the truth.
If a chain reaction with uranium and plutonium did take place, it would have been something like a nuclear explosion. Ayumi Tasuku's young family lived close by. They have 4 children. The youngest was born 3 months after the nuclear accident. Their home was contaminated. Now they live with their in-laws just a few kilometers away.
It's especially stressful for the children. They can't play outside anymore. They have to wear masks and caps on their heads. They can only wear jackets over long-sleeved shirts, even in summer.
Ayumi Tasaku drives her children to school through contaminated rain. The city of Minamisoma is hanging on, defying the dangers posed by Fukushima. The city council is actively recruiting young families to live here, but is it safe? Don't sit on it or put it in the washing machine, warns the teacher. Today, Ayumi Tasaku's 2 boys are getting their own personal dosimeters. Parents campaigned for months to get the devices, but the teacher still isn't satisfied.
I don't like handing out these dosimeters. It's like turning the children into guinea pigs. The instruments don't even show the radiation levels. All they do is store the data. It would be better if the children got an immediate warning so they could run away.
Living with constant uncertainty destroys you inside, says Bansho Miuru. Some in Minamisoma don't want to eat anything now. Others have taken to alcohol. And some have even killed themselves. There have been more than 70 suicides in the Fukushima region since March.
To me, the sound of the sea here at the cemetery sounds like the voices of the dead. It sounds like a cry for help. We have to do better at explaining how dangerous radioactivity really is, or we will never be happy again.
Ayumi Tasaku has an appointment at the city hospital to get her sons tested for radioactivity. 75 students are now being tested each day, which will cover all the students in Minamisoma within a year.
I'm afraid the results will be bad. But on the other hand, I want to know the truth. I'm torn.
The scanner detects radioactive particles in the body, cesium in bones, iodine in the thyroid glands. In Fukushima itself, doctors have already discovered some bad news. Every second child has been contaminated with cesium. Parents fear that child cancer rates will soon increase. This nurse too is worried. She's 5 months pregnant.
Everyone says it's okay, don't worry. But you never know if the kids will get sick in 5 or 10 years' time. Maybe one day we'll regret staying here.
Stay put or start anew. Basho Miura, the monk, has been called to a new development on the edge of the city. A young family with 2 children live here. In 1 year, the local people have been exposed to 3 times more radiation than is permitted for a German nuclear plant worker. The monk wants to change that.
We'll see how much decontamination we can complete today. We'll start up at the top with the roof, then the walls of the house, the veranda, and the pathway in front of the house.
The group put on helmets, face masks and protective suits before they get started. They're gradually trying to decontaminate all of Minamisoma, from the schools and streets to people's private homes. It's risky work. And some say there's really no point. Come winter, winds blowing down from the mountains are likely to carry new radioactive particles into the area. Ayumi Tasaki has received the radiation test results in the mail. Are her sons healthy?
Everything's all right. There are different numbers, and my younger sons are somewhat higher than the older ones, but they're definitely below the limit, and that makes me happy.
The hospital says her son's results are hardly above average when calculated over a person's lifetime. The doctors say residents of Minamisoma, about 20 kilometres from the Fukushima plant, have only been exposed to an extra X-rays worth of additional radiation.
We certainly wish them well. Well, that has been our in-depth report. Fukushima, living next to the reactor. I'm Brent Goff in Berlin. As always, thanks for watching and thanks for the company.